You've been wondering why Allah has gone silent, why your du'as feel unanswered, why your life feels paused. Listen to me carefully. This silence is not random. There's a reason Allah has pulled you into this season, and by the time you finish this video, you'll never see this silence the same way again. 1. The silence that holds your name in the heavens. You keep thinking Allah has forgotten you, that your du'as are lost in the dark, that your tears fall but no one is listening. But listen to me. Listen carefully. There are moments in life when everything suddenly goes quiet. No answers, no signs, no movement, just silence. And that silence, it terrifies you because you've been taught. That silence means being ignored. That stillness means nothing is happening. But with Allah, silence means something deeper. Sometimes before Allah rewrites your story on earth, He whispers your name in the heavens first. Before He shows the world who you are becoming, He sends angels with new commands, instructions that you cannot yet see. And when this happens, life begins to slow down. Doors you thought were yours suddenly close. People you relied on start walking away. Plans you built collapse without warning, and it feels like punishment, but it's not. This is the unseen mercy of Allah. Because what's being written for you is too sacred to be rushed, too beautiful to be handed to you before you're ready to carry it, too powerful to be placed in the wrong season of your life. So He quiets your world. He slows your steps. He removes what would distract you from the whispers of your own soul. And yet, I know how hard this feels. Nights feel heavier. Days feel longer. You watch others moving forward, finding love, chasing dreams, achieving milestones, while you remain still. And in the stillness, your heart aches. You whisper, "Ya Allah, have you left me behind?" But the truth is the opposite. This silence, this loneliness, is proof that He's drawing you closer, not leaving you behind. There are things happening right now that you cannot see. While you sit here wondering why nothing is moving, the angels are moving with commands that carry your name. Your silence is not empty, it is filled with divine work. You are not yet meant to witness. Above you, destinies are being rewritten, paths are being cleared, hearts are being softened, doors are being unlocked in places you've never imagined. And because this moment is so delicate, Allah shields you from it. He slows you down. Because rushing would ruin what's being built for you. He hides you because what He's preparing you for requires a strength you haven't yet discovered. He removes people, not to hurt you, but to free you from hands that would never be able to hold what He's about to place in yours. And yet, you doubt. You sit in the quiet and think, nothing is happening. But if only you could see what He sees. If only you could watch how creation bends and moves by His command, just to place you exactly where you need to be. You would never question Him again. Sometimes Allah hides your name from the earth while echoing it in the heavens. You don't hear it, you don't see it, but your story is being spoken in places higher than you can reach. And when He whispers your name there, your world here begins to rearrange. This is why doors close without warning. This is why silence stretches longer than you'd like. This is why prayers feel delayed. It is not because He has forgotten you. It is because He remembers you in ways you cannot yet understand. So when life feels frozen, when nothing moves, when your tears fall unanswered, pause. Listen. This quiet is not neglect. It's love. It's protection. It's preparation. Allah is guarding you while He builds something that carries the weight of your du'as and the secret cries of your heart. And when the time finally comes, when your name is called on earth, the way it has already been called in the heavens, you will realize something profound. The silence you feared the most was the place where Allah loved you the loudest. This isn't delay. This isn't rejection. This is divine orchestration. Every unanswered prayer, every person removed, every door closed, every lonely night. All of it is being woven into a story you can't yet read because the ink hasn't dried. So breathe, be patient, trust Him. Because right now, while you sit in the quiet, the heavens are busy rewriting your destiny. And when it unfolds, it will feel like 1,000 silent du'as answered all at once. You thought Allah had forgotten you, but all this time, your name has been resting on His lips. 2. Hidden in a place no one else can see. Do you know why life feels so silent right now? Why you feel invisible? Why it seems like the world has forgotten your name? It's because Allah has hidden you. Not because you are unworthy, not because you've been left behind, but because there are places your heart isn't meant to walk just yet. There are blessings meant for you, but you are not ready to hold them. There are doors carved with your name, but your hands are not yet steady enough to open them. So Allah places you here, in this unseen corner of life, a quiet space, a hidden place, where no one claps for you, where no one calls your name, where the noise of the world cannot reach your heart. And I know how it feels. It feels like punishment. It feels like rejection. It feels like the universe has moved on without you. You scroll through your feed and watch people living loudly, dreams unfolding, plans working, doors opening, and you sit there thinking, what about me, Ya Allah? Have you hidden me? Yes, He has, but not to hurt you, to shape you. Sometimes Allah hides you, to grow a version of you the world has never seen, because if He revealed you too soon, you'd break under the weight of what you're not yet ready to carry. He places you in silence, because transformation cannot happen in chaos. You are not being ignored, you are being rebuilt. And while you feel forgotten, heaven is busy shaping the story that will one day make sense of this pause. Do you know why no one sees you right now? Because Allah doesn't want them to. He doesn't want everyone's hands on you. He doesn't want their opinions to drown out His whispers. He doesn't want your worth to be decided by a crowd that cannot even see their own. So He pulls you away, hides you behind curtains of silence, places you where no one claps so He can teach you that you are already enough, even when the world doesn't notice you. This hidden season is not a punishment. It's an invitation to return, an invitation to rediscover what was always yours but got buried beneath noise, expectations, and comparisons. Right now, you are not where you used to be. You are not where you thought you'd be, but you are exactly where Allah needs you to be. And one day, you'll understand why. You keep wondering why Allah placed you here, why He slowed you down, why He took you out of places where you once felt seen. It feels unfair, doesn't it? To be overlooked, to be left behind, to watch people pass you by while your life seems paused. But what you call being forgotten, Allah calls being protected. Do you know why Allah hides you? Because some blessings are too fragile to be exposed too soon. Imagine a seed buried deep beneath the soil. It's hidden, it's unseen, no one claps for it, no one notices it. But beneath the surface, in complete silence, Allah is working on it. It's growing roots, it's strengthening from within. Because if it were exposed too early, the sun would burn it, the wind would break it, the world would destroy it. Before it ever bloomed, you are that seed, and this hidden place is where Allah strengthens your roots before He lets your petals touch the light. That's why people walked away. That's why certain opportunities slipped. That's why the doors you knocked on stayed locked. Not because you weren't good enough, not because you lacked faith, but because Allah sees what you cannot see. Some places would drain you. Some people would break you. Some dreams would suffocate you if you carried them too early. So Allah hid you to protect you from things you didn't even know were meant to harm you. And I know this silence feels heavy. There are nights when you can't breathe, when your pillow carries secrets no one else knows. And in those nights you whisper, "Ya Allah, why me?" And He answers through His silence, "Because I am building you quietly for blessings too sacred to be witnessed by everyone." Sometimes Allah hides your name from the mouths of people so He can write it among the angels instead. While you think no one sees you, your name is being spoken in places higher than you can imagine. Right now, while you feel invisible on earth, heaven knows exactly who you are. One day, you'll step into the blessings you've been praying for, and when you do, you'll realize why Allah kept you hidden for so long. Because had He revealed you too soon, you would have shared your dreams with people who couldn't hold them. You would have settled for less than what He wrote for you. You would have walked into rooms you weren't meant to belong in, but He saved you from all of it, quietly, patiently, lovingly. So if life feels paused right now, if no one sees you, if the world has gone quiet around you, take a deep breath. This is not rejection. This is protection. This is preparation. And when Allah finally unveils what He's been shaping in silence, you'll understand something powerful. Being hidden was never about losing time. It was about becoming the version of you, capable of carrying the destiny you were always meant for. Right now, you are unseen, but one day you'll walk into blessings so bright that everyone will understand why Allah kept you hidden. 3. When Allah slows you down to save you, you've been trying so hard, haven't you? Pushing yourself forward, chasing what you thought was yours, knocking on every door, begging Allah for movement. But nothing opens, nothing shifts, everything stays still, and you sit there confused and exhausted, asking yourself, why is my life on pause? Why isn't anything happening? But listen carefully. Sometimes Allah slows you down, not because He's holding you back, but because He's saving you from running into something that would break you completely. What feels like delay is actually divine protection. You don't see it now, but there are roads you were about to take that end in pain you're not meant to touch. There are people you thought you needed who would have shattered your heart. There are dreams you're chasing that would have suffocated your soul if you reached them too soon. And so Allah, in His infinite mercy, puts His hand gently on your chest and whispers, "Not yet." I know it hurts. I know how it feels to watch everyone else moving forward while you're still standing still, to scroll through your feed and see people winning while you sit in the quiet and wonder if you're being left behind. But the truth is, you're not behind. You're being positioned, because sometimes moving faster is not strength. It's destruction. You can't see the bends in the road ahead, but Allah can. You don't know what dangers wait around the corner, but He does. And so, when He slows you down, He's not denying you. He's guiding you. He's protecting you from battles you're not meant to fight and wounds you're not meant to carry. Think about it. How many times in your life did something not work out, and later you looked back and said, "Subhanallah, if that had happened, I would have been destroyed"? That's what's happening now. This pause you hate so much is a shield you don't even realize you need. And yet, I know the weight feels endless. You cry into your pillow asking, "Ya Allah, why me? Why not now?" And His silence feels heavy. But silence doesn't mean absence. It means something is being arranged behind the curtain of the unseen. Right now, while you feel stuck, the heavens are moving for you. This isn't delay. This is alignment. Allah is not holding you back. He's holding you together, because if He let you rush into the things you're praying for, before you're ready, you'd collapse beneath the weight of them. So He slows you down. to strengthen you, to prepare you, to turn you into the person who can carry what's coming. And when the time comes, when the path finally clears, when Allah says, now, everything that once confused you will finally make sense. You think you're late, but you're right on time for the life that's yours. Sometimes the path you begged for has a bend you can't see, a cliff hidden by fog, a smile hiding a knife, a promise with a price your heart can't afford. So the most merciful puts a gentle brake on your life. He eases your speed. He dims the noise. He lets other people pass. And you cry because you think you lost, but you didn't lose. You were saved. Think of a red light at midnight. No cars, no sound. Just you and an empty road. You feel silly waiting. You feel tempted to run it. But then a truck cuts through the intersection. Fast, unseen, crushing. You would have been there. You would have been gone. And suddenly the red light feels like love. That's how divine delay works. It looks like nothing. It feels like nothing, but it keeps you breathing. You call it stuck. He calls it shielded. You call it too slow. He calls it exactly safe. There are messages you didn't read in time. They would have dragged you into storms. There are calls you didn't receive. They would have reopened wounds. There are invitations you missed. They were doorways to emptiness. And you sat in the quiet, angry with your fate, while your fate stood between you and harm. Why is everything so slow, you ask? Because strength takes time. Because clean love takes time. Because true purpose takes time. Because roots grow underground before trees touch the sky. You see a closed flower at dawn and think it's dull. But the sun knows it's not time yet. Open it too early and the petals tear. Wait just a little and the same flower will make you cry with its beauty. You wanted a yes. He gave you a not yet, and that not yet is the softest armor. Remember the verse. Perhaps you hate something and it is good for you. And perhaps you love something and it is bad for you. Allah knows, and you do not know. Quran 2:216. Carry those words like a lantern. Hold them against your chest when the night feels long. Let them be the voice that answers your doubt. I'm not late. I'm being kept. Sometimes the boat doesn't leave the shore because the sea is planning a storm. Sometimes the flight is delayed because a tiny screw needs tightening. Sometimes the surgery is rescheduled because the right doctor wasn't on shift. Sometimes the reply doesn't come because the reply would have chained you to a future that isn't yours. You asked for the quickest way. He wrote the safest way. You asked for the most direct path. He chose the most merciful one. You asked to shine now. He decided to polish you first. Feel how your chest loosens when you trust that. Feel how the fear loses its teeth. There were days you nearly forced a door open, and if it had opened, you would be begging Allah today to close it. He spared you from the dua you would have made in tears later by answering you with a silence you didn't like earlier. Look back. Remember the job you wanted so desperately, the one you didn't get. Months later, the company closed. Remember the person you thought was the one? Weeks later, their truth revealed itself to you. A truth that would have crushed you from within. Remember the city you were ready to move to. A headline appeared. A crisis came. A door vanished. And you sat there whispering, Alhamdulillah, because the no you hated turned into the rescue you loved. Divine delay is a teacher. It teaches you how to sit with yourself without needing the world to clap. It teaches you how to breathe without rushing. It teaches you how to pray without bargaining. It teaches you that your worth isn't measured by speed, by titles, by noise, but by the way your heart leans toward Allah when nothing moves. You are not losing ground. You're losing illusions. You are not being punished. You're being protected. You are not waiting for life to start. Life is starting in ways you can't see, in the small rearrangements, in the quiet exits, in the little nudges that keep you from edges. Imagine a child running toward a glittering fire. The mother grabs him, hard, sudden, uninvited. He screams because he loved the light. He cries because he thinks she's cruel. But the burn he never felt is the mercy he doesn't understand. You are that child. Your speed is the run. His hold is the mercy. There is also the mercy of rerouting. You think you missed the highway, but he's taking you through a side road, lined with lessons, with faces you were meant to meet, with quiets you were meant to feel, with prayers you were meant to pray. Prayers that will make the main road safer, clearer, holier when you finally reach it. Sometimes he delays you so someone else can arrive first. The mentor you need, the friend who will keep you honest, the partner who will guard your deen, the team that will lift your dream without breaking it. If he let you arrive early, you'd arrive alone, and alone can be dangerous. You slowed me down, you say. I placed you beside better company, he replies. There's a strength that only slow days can give, the strength to say no when the wrong yes arrives, the strength to wait even when your hands shake, the strength to pray when your heart wants to run, the strength to love without begging, to walk without chasing, to hope without deadlines. Every pause has a purpose, to heal a hidden bruise, to dry an old wound, to teach your tongue new duas, to make your spine remember how to stand. Breathe with me, in, hold, out. Say, I am safe in his timing, again. And what is mine cannot be taken by being slow. Tell your fear, if speed is a god, I refuse it. Tell your doubt, if movement is the only proof you understand, then watch me sit with grace. Tell your heart, we will not sprint into harm. Tell your Lord, if you slow me, I will stay. If you send me, I will go. You will not miss what was written, not by a minute, not by a breath, not by a heartbeat. Your qadr doesn't need your panic to arrive. It needs your trust to be received. So look at the red lights in your life and say, thank you for loving me in ways that look like stopping. Look at the detours and say, thank you for roads I never knew I needed. Look at the doors that stayed closed and say, thank you for the rooms I was never meant to enter. One morning, the same road that felt endless will open like a sunrise. The same door you stopped knocking will open from the inside. The same dream you let go of will return dressed in mercy, dash, dash, lighter, safer, truer, and you will realize he didn't slow you to embarrass you. He slowed you to equip you. He didn't delay the gift. He grew the hands that would hold it. On that day, you'll whisper through a smile, if I had arrived sooner, I would have arrived smaller. If I had arrived faster, I would have arrived weaker. If I had arrived earlier, I would have arrived unready. But I arrived when Allah said, now. And now feels like home. So for tonight, let the world rush. Let the timeline scream. Let the clock spin. Your soul is not a factory. Your heart is not a race. Your story is not a comparison. Your Lord is not late. Gentle pause. You are not stuck. You are spared. You are not behind. You are beloved. And the one who slowed you knows exactly when to say, go. 4. The sacred workshop of the unseen. You feel forgotten, unseen, overlooked by the world. But what if I told you, you are not forgotten at all? Right now, while you sit here wondering why life feels paused, Allah is busy working on you, in silence. You've been placed in a sacred workshop, a place where no one applauds you, no one notices you, no one even knows what's happening inside you. But in this unseen place, something extraordinary is unfolding. Sometimes Allah hides you, so He can rebuild you without interruption. The blessings He has written for you carry a weight you are not yet strong enough to hold, and so He pulls you away from the crowd, away from distractions, away from noise, because noise doesn't grow you. Silence does. You think you're stuck, but you're being reshaped. You think nothing is happening, but entire worlds within you are being rewritten. This is why life feels strange right now. This is why people leave without warning. This is why plans collapse overnight. This is why prayers feel unanswered. Because before Allah changes your situation, He changes you. And before He changes you, He brings you to this quiet place. The workshop no one can see. I know it feels lonely here. You scroll through your feed and watch everyone else moving ahead. They're celebrating milestones. They're entering new seasons. They're being seen, chosen, loved. And you feel invisible. But listen carefully. Being unseen right now is not punishment. It's protection. Because in this hidden place, Allah is protecting your becoming. There are lessons He can only teach you when no one is watching. There is strength He can only give you. When the crowd is gone, there is clarity He can only gift you. When the noise is stripped away, the things He's preparing you for are too sacred to be witnessed by everyone. Some stories are written in private because they're too holy to be drafted in public. That's why He takes you into silence. That's why He slows your life down. That's why He closes doors you thought were yours. Because this chapter isn't meant for everyone's eyes. Right now, you are becoming someone, even you haven't met yet. Do you know what happens in a workshop? Things are taken apart before they're put back together. A sword is forged by fire. A diamond is shaped by pressure. A masterpiece is carved from a shapeless stone. And that's what's happening to you. This silence you hate is not emptiness. It's creation. It's Allah's hands shaping a version of you that will be unrecognizable to the person you are now. You prayed for strength. He's teaching you patience. You prayed for blessings. He's stretching your capacity to hold them. You prayed for purpose. He's burning away everything that distracts you from it. And yes, it hurts. Transformation always does. But when Allah is your craftsman, even the pain is mercy. Do you know why Allah hides you right now? Because becoming cannot happen in front of everyone. Some transformations are too sacred to be witnessed. Some blessings are too fragile to be shared too soon. The cocoon protects the butterfly, while its wings are still forming. The soil hides the seed, while its roots are still growing. And Allah hides you, while your soul is still becoming. If the cocoon were opened too early, the butterfly would never fly. If the seed were unearthed too soon, it would wither before touching the sun. And if you were revealed right now, you'd be too unready to carry what's coming. So He places you here, in this quiet place, in this sacred workshop, away from eyes that cannot yet understand who you are becoming. I know you feel invisible. I know you wonder why no one notices you, why no one chooses you, why no one calls your name. But right now, you're not meant to be seen. Because if everyone saw you now, they'd misunderstand you. They'd define you by an unfinished chapter. They'd try to claim what isn't theirs to hold. And Allah loves you too much to let that happen. In this silence, Allah is teaching you something the noise could never give you. How to hear Him, how to feel Him, how to trust Him. When you're stripped of distractions, you finally notice how loudly He speaks in whispers, how clearly He guides when you stop chasing the world's applause. And maybe that's why He removed certain people, the ones who drained you, the ones who slowed your growth, the ones who couldn't love the real you. Their exit wasn't rejection, it was release. Because where Allah is taking you, not everyone can follow. Some blessings require solitude first. This is why your prayers feel delayed. This is why nothing looks like it's moving. This is why your world feels paused. It's not paused, it's being prepared. Just because you can't see the movement doesn't mean it isn't happening. Mountains move silently beneath the earth, long before anyone notices. Stars are born in darkness, long before their light reaches our eyes. And within you, Allah is shaping galaxies of strength, oceans of faith, and rivers of patience. that no one else can see yet. One day, you'll walk into the blessings you've prayed for. And when you do, people will stare and whisper, "How did they get here? How did they become this?" They won't know about the nights you cried into silence. They won't know about the du'as you made in secret. They won't know about the workshop Allah hid you in. But you will know. And in that moment, you'll smile through your tears and whisper, "Subhanallah, every second in hiding was worth it." And until that day comes, trust this sacred silence. Trust this unseen workshop. Trust the one who is quietly building the most powerful version of you, in the places no one else can reach. Because when Allah finally reveals you, you will not recognize yourself, and neither will they. You are hidden now, because you are becoming what only Allah can see. 5. When doors close without warning, you thought this was it. You thought this person, this opportunity, this dream was yours. You prayed for it. You built plans around it. You trusted it, and then, suddenly, it ended. The person walked away. The door slammed shut. The thing you loved slipped through your hands without warning. And now you're left standing in the quiet, your heart shattered, asking yourself, "Ya Allah, why? Why would you give me something, only to take it away? Why would you let me love something that was never meant to stay?" Listen to me carefully. Sometimes Allah closes doors to save you from what's behind them. Not because you are unworthy, not because you failed, but because He loves you too much to let you walk into something that would have broken you later. You're crying right now because you can only see the door, but He can see the fire behind it. He can see the storm waiting to consume you. He can see the trap you didn't even know was there, so He closes it, quietly, suddenly, without giving you time to fight Him. And I know it hurts. I know it feels unfair. I know you're exhausted from loving things Allah didn't let stay. But this pain you feel right now is not cruelty. It's mercy wearing a disguise. Because if you could see what He sees, you'd thank Him through your tears. Think about it. How many times in your past did you beg Allah for something you thought you couldn't live without? And then, years later, you whispered, "Alhamdulillah," for not getting it. You thought it was the love of your life. Now you see how it would have broken you. You thought it was the job of your dreams. Now you see how it would have drained your soul. You thought it was the perfect plan. Now you see how it would have destroyed your peace. What felt like rejection back then was actually protection. What looked like an ending was actually a rescue. Right now you can't see it, but one day you will look back on this very moment and whisper the same "Alhamdulillah" for the doors Allah closed. Because when Allah removes something, He's not subtracting. He's making space. He's clearing the path. He's preparing your heart for something better than you even knew how to ask for. But here's the truth. Before Allah gives you what's written for you, He takes away what was never yours. Because if He didn't, you'd never let go. You'd hold on to the wrong hands, the wrong plans, the wrong paths. And so He writes pain into your story, not to break you, but to free you. You don't see it now, but these closed doors are the reason your heart will one day be wide enough to hold blessings bigger than anything you imagined. The heartbreak you're carrying today is the empty space where your dua will land tomorrow. And when it does, you'll understand everything. Sometimes the door you're crying over was never yours to begin with. It wasn't written for you. It wasn't aligned with your destiny. It wasn't meant to carry your soul where Allah needs it to go. But you didn't know that. You only saw the beauty on the outside. You only felt the comfort of its presence. So when it closed, it felt like betrayal. It felt like punishment. It felt like Allah turned away. But listen carefully. He didn't turn away. He turned you away from something that would have wounded you in ways you can't yet imagine. Sometimes Allah removes people You thought you'd never lose because he heard conversations you didn't hear. He saw intentions you couldn't see. He read hearts you never knew were false. You thought they left because you weren't enough. But the truth is, he removed them because you were too precious to stay in places that didn't honor your worth. And sometimes the opportunity you begged for wasn't the blessing you thought it was. You saw freedom in it, but Allah saw chains. You saw elevation but Allah saw distraction. You saw happiness, but Allah saw harm. So he took it, not to deprive you, but to deliver you. I know it doesn't feel like that now. I know your chest is heavy and your thoughts are loud, and the silence around you is suffocating. But one day, you will wake up in the middle of a blessing you never saw coming, and you'll whisper through tears, Ya Allah, I see it now. Every no was a better yes I couldn't recognize at the time. Do you know why the pain feels sharpest? When doors close suddenly, because your heart hasn't caught up to what your destiny already knows. The soul recognizes endings before the mind does, and pain is just the sound of your old life breaking apart. So a new one can emerge. If you could see the view from where Allah sits, you'd never question a closed door again. He sees the storms hidden behind smiles. He sees the heartbreak disguised as comfort. He sees the fire waiting behind what looks like light. And so, in his mercy, he spares you, even when you beg him not to. And this is why your heart breaks, not because he abandoned you, but because he loves you enough to protect you from what you thought you wanted. One day, you'll meet the version of yourself that exists on the other side of this heartbreak. And when you do, you'll thank Allah for every unanswered dua, for every person who left, for every opportunity you lost, for every door that refused to open. Because without these losses, you wouldn't have become the person capable of holding what he has prepared for you. This pain will pass, the silence will break, the doors will open. And when they do, you'll understand why Allah had to write this ending first. Soft, fading whisper, don't mourn what left. It was never yours. What's written for you is already on its way, and it will not miss you. 6. The cocoon you never asked for. You didn't choose this silence. You didn't ask for this loneliness. You didn't pray for these heavy nights where it feels like the world has moved on without you. And yet, here you are, cut off, hidden, invisible. At first, you thought it was just a phase. You told yourself things would return to normal soon, but days turned into months, and months began to feel like years, and the silence hasn't left. And so you wonder, Ya Allah, why me? Why does it feel like I'm trapped while everyone else is living? Listen carefully. You're not trapped. You're becoming. This is not a prison. This is a cocoon, and cocoons are never comfortable. They feel like endings, when in reality they are the quiet beginnings of something unrecognizable. Do you know what happens inside a cocoon? The caterpillar dissolves completely. It breaks down into something unshaped, unfamiliar, invisible to the world. To anyone watching from the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. It looks like stillness. It looks like silence. But inside, everything is changing. Every cell is rewriting itself. Every fiber is rearranging its purpose. Every moment of darkness is a whisper of transformation. And then, one day, it emerges, not crawling, flying. That's what Allah is doing with you right now. You feel dissolved. You feel unrecognizable even to yourself. But this isn't your undoing. This is the making of you. You scroll through your feed and see everyone else moving forward. New milestones, new relationships, new beginnings, and you feel stuck in slow motion. But what you don't see is that you've been placed in a divine cocoon, a sacred hidden place, where Allah grows what the world cannot touch. It's not punishment, it's protection. Because what He's preparing for you is too delicate to be built in front of everyone. The dreams He's writing into your decree are too precious to be exposed too soon. The version of you He's shaping right now would not survive if unveiled before its time. So He hides you. He cuts you off from places you thought you belonged. He removes people you thought would stay forever. He pauses plans you thought were certain, not to hurt you, but to hold you while He transforms you into someone you haven't met yet. And yes, it hurts to lose what you thought was yours. It hurts to sit in silence when your heart craves movement. It hurts to wait for answers while the world spins without you. But you're not being left behind. You're being written forward. Do you know why you feel invisible? Because Allah has hidden you. He's protecting your becoming, because right now you're too sacred to be touched by everyone, too fragile to be handled by careless hands, too unfinished to be exposed to noisy places. That would damage the delicate work He's doing. Sometimes He even hides you from yourself. You used to feel certain about who you were. You had a clear picture of your life, and now you feel lost inside your own reflection. That's not failure. That's transformation. You're dissolving that so you can emerge different. If you could see what Allah sees right now, you wouldn't be restless. You wouldn't resist the stillness. You wouldn't doubt the silence. Because within this cocoon, He's weaving strength into your soul, patience into your bones, and resilience into your heart. The version of you that walks out of this season will not think the same, will not love the same, will not settle the same, will not pray the same, because you'll finally understand that sometimes Allah has to isolate you, to upgrade you. You keep asking, Ya Allah, why does it feel like nothing is happening? But something is happening, something too sacred for your eyes to see right now. Inside this cocoon, Allah is rebuilding you quietly. He's rearranging pieces of your heart that the world broke. He's healing wounds you forgot you carried. He's teaching your soul to breathe in ways it never has before. That's why He pulled you away from certain people, because their voices were too loud to let you hear His whispers, because their hands were too rough to hold the soft version of you that He's shaping into strength. He removes to protect. He hides to preserve. He pauses to prepare. Do you know why He took away that plan you thought was perfect? Because it wasn't big enough for the person you're becoming. Do you know why He delayed that dream you've been begging Him for? Because your hands aren't ready to hold its weight yet. Do you know why He isolated you? Because growth needs silence. Roots don't grow in chaos. Wings don't form under noise. Destinies aren't built in the middle of crowded rooms. And yes, I know you feel forgotten. I know you're exhausted from waiting. I know you lie awake at night, thinking everyone else has found their place, while you're stuck in pause. But you're not stuck. You're hidden in a place where only Allah can see you, hidden in a season where only Allah touches you, hidden in a moment where only Allah knows your name. The cocoon feels like death, but it's actually birth. Because the you that walks out of this will not be the same you who walked into it. You'll pray differently. You'll love differently. You'll dream differently. You'll trust differently. And when people see you, they'll say, "What happened to you? How did you become this?" And you'll smile softly and whisper, "It wasn't me. It was Allah. I died in the cocoon so He could give me wings." Sometimes Allah has to hide you from the world to show you who you really are, because you've spent too long defining yourself by what people saw in you, by who clapped for you, by who chose you, by who stayed. And now He's stripping all of that away so you can finally see yourself the way He sees you. And here's the secret. When Allah writes your emergence, it will be quiet. It won't need announcement. It won't need explanation. It won't need permission. Because when He finally says, "Now," you'll step into a life so aligned, so beautifully timed, that every delay, every silence, every lonely night will make sense all at once. One day, you'll look back at this season and thank Allah for every unanswered dua, for every plan He paused, for every person He removed, for every door He closed. Because if He hadn't hidden you, you would have settled for less. You would have believed you were smaller. You would have accepted what was beneath you. But He placed you in this cocoon to remind you you are destined for more. And when you finally rise, you won't crawl back to the places that couldn't hold your worth. You'll soar past them, quietly, gracefully, effortlessly, because you'll understand that the cocoon you hated was the birthplace of the wings you always prayed for. You're not stuck. You're not forgotten. You're not behind. You are becoming what Allah always knew you could be. 7. The blessing hidden in stillness. You've been waiting for movement, for change, for answers, for a sign that Allah has heard you. But instead, you've been given silence. No doors opening, no messages arriving, no breakthroughs unfolding, and it hurts, doesn't it? Because deep down, you wonder if Allah is ignoring you. You wonder if your duas are disappearing into the air. You wonder if you've been forgotten. But listen to me carefully. This stillness you hate so much is not neglect. It's love disguised as silence. Sometimes Allah answers your dua by pausing your life, not because He wants to punish you, but because what you've asked for is greater than you think, and bigger blessings require deeper preparation. Think about it. A seed doesn't sprout the moment it's placed in the soil. It spends a long time in darkness, hidden beneath the surface, gathering strength where no one can see. And when the time is right, it breaks through. Not a second earlier, not a second later. That's you right now, hidden in the soil, growing in ways even you cannot yet understand. The silence around you is not a sign that nothing's happening. It's proof that everything is happening. Because blessings don't bloom in chaos, they unfold in quiet. Do you know why your life feels paused? Because Allah is aligning things for you. In places you cannot see, there are people being prepared to walk into your life. There are doors being carved with your name on them. There are opportunities being written into your decree, but they are not ready yet. And neither are you. And if He gave you what you're praying for right now, you wouldn't have the strength to hold it. It would slip through your fingers. It would break you instead of build you. So Allah keeps you here, in this stillness, in this quiet waiting to make you strong enough to carry what's coming. Yes, I know it's hard. I know what it feels like to watch everyone else move forward while you're sitting in silence. I know what it feels like to wake up with the same unanswered questions day after day. I know what it feels like to pray for change and open your eyes to nothing different but stillness. Stillness is never wasted, because while you're waiting, Allah is working. You think nothing is happening right now, but angels are moving, hearts are softening, paths are clearing, chains are breaking, opportunities are being written, and your story is being rearranged in the heavens. Sometimes the biggest blessings don't arrive loudly. They slip into your life so quietly you don't even notice. The preparation was happening all along. One day you'll wake up, and the very thing you cried for will be sitting at your doorstep, and you'll whisper, Subhanallah, it was always on its way. You think this quiet is empty. You think nothing's changing, but above you, everything is moving. Angels are writing, hearts are shifting, paths are opening, stories are colliding in ways you cannot yet see, and you're right where you need to be. This pause is not random. This silence is not neglect. It's divine alignment, because sometimes what Allah has written for you requires other pieces of the puzzle to be placed first. The opportunity you're praying for needs the right people to be ready. The person you're destined to meet needs to heal before they arrive. The blessing you're waiting for needs its own path cleared. So Allah slows you down while He speeds up everything else. It's not punishment, it's precision. But I know how heavy this feels. I know what it's like to wake up every morning and wonder why nothing's shifting. I know what it's like to make dua with tears on your prayer mat and feel like the sky stays silent. I know what it's like to beg Allah for movement while He keeps you in stillness. And I need you to hear me. This silence is not Him ignoring you. This silence is His response. Because if you listen closely, you'll hear what He's saying. Be patient, my servant. You are closer to your prayer than you realize. Stillness is where Allah builds what chaos would destroy. When your life feels paused, He is rebuilding your heart in ways you cannot yet name. He is reshaping your desires to match what He wrote for you. He is untying knots you didn't even know were holding you back. He is removing what would have broken you if He allowed it to stay. Do you know why your prayers sometimes feel unanswered? Because Allah loves you enough to give you what you need, not just what you want. And sometimes the silence is His mercy saying, not yet. What you've asked for is beautiful, but you're not ready to hold it. You don't give a child the keys to a car when they're too small to reach the pedals. Not because you don't want them to drive, but because you want them to live. Allah loves you even more fiercely than that. One day you'll wake up in the middle of blessings you didn't even see coming, and you'll whisper to yourself, Subhanallah, so this is why Allah made me wait. Every unanswered prayer will make sense. Every closed door will make sense. Every silent night will make sense. And when you reach that day, you'll realize something powerful. The stillness you hated was never empty. It was full of Allah's mercy, His timing, and His quiet, careful preparation. So breathe. Stop rushing. Stop doubting, because right now your silence is loud in the heavens. Your name is being written next to blessings you can't yet imagine. And when they arrive, you'll understand. This stillness was the answer you were waiting for. You keep asking yourself, why is Allah making me wait? Why does my life feel paused while everyone else moves forward? And you don't know it yet, but this stillness is the greatest blessing of your life. You see, stillness is where Allah protects you. From roads you would have chosen blindly, it's where He shields you. From doors you were begging Him to open, doors that led to pain you weren't meant to touch. You wanted speed, He gave you safety. You asked for movement, He gave you preservation. You asked for answers, He gave you alignment. Above you right now, angels are writing. The pen hasn't stopped moving. Since the day you were born, your story is still being written, in strokes you can't yet see. And sometimes the pause is not because your story is ending, but because Allah is introducing a chapter so beautiful, it needs perfect timing to unfold. If He gave you what you're praying for today, you'd ruin it with unprepared hands. You'd mishandle what you begged Him for, because your heart is still healing, your faith is still soft, and your soul is still growing the strength to hold what's coming. So He places you here in this divine quiet to make sure you don't waste the very blessings you've cried for. Do you know what happens to a tree planted in the desert? If rain comes too soon, the roots stay shallow. The first storm uproots it. But if Allah delays the rain, the roots dig deeper into the earth, searching for life in the unseen. And when the rain finally arrives, the tree doesn't just bloom, it thrives. That's what's happening with you right now. Your roots are growing in stillness. Your patience is deepening in silence. Your faith is being anchored so firmly into Allah that when the storm comes, you won't be moved. And one day you'll wake up and realize that nothing was ever delayed. The plan didn't fail. You didn't miss your chance. Your blessing wasn't lost. It was maturing. It was becoming exactly what you needed. in ways your limited vision couldn't comprehend. You'll look back at this season and see how every unanswered prayer was an answered protection, how every delay was a quiet preparation, how every still night was a seed Allah planted for the day He would make your life bloom. And when you finally step into that moment, you won't rush anymore. You won't beg for speed. You won't question divine timing ever again. Because you'll know, every silence had a sound. Every pause had a purpose. Every stillness carried a secret that only Allah knew. You thought this waiting was wasting your time, but this waiting is building the life you were always meant to live. Be patient with the quiet. Your name is already written on blessings you cannot yet see. 8. When the silence breaks, you'll never be the same. One day, the silence will end. One day, the waiting will be over. The prayers you whispered into your pillow, the tears you cried where no one could see, the nights you stayed awake begging Allah for a way through, they will all make sense. Because when Allah finally says, now, everything will shift. The doors that refused to open will unlock without resistance. The dreams you buried deep will rise from places you thought were dead. The blessings you thought you missed will arrive ... and you'll realize they were never late. But here's what you don't know yet. When the silence breaks, you won't just receive blessings. You'll receive yourself back, the version of you Allah has been shaping in these quiet, hidden seasons will finally emerge. You'll walk differently. You'll speak differently. You'll pray differently. You'll love differently. Because the person who steps out of this silence will not be the same person who walked into it. This waiting you hate right now isn't wasting your time, it's remaking you. Every unanswered dua, every closed door, every lonely night, every heartbreak, every delay, they've all been chiseling you quietly into someone stronger, softer, wiser, deeper, and closer to Allah. And when the silence ends, you won't just rise, you'll soar. But here's the secret. It won't happen slowly. It'll happen all at once. One day you'll wake up and realize that the blessings you prayed for have surrounded you like the dawn breaking after a long night. That's why you had to be hidden first. That's why Allah placed you in silence, because the blessing He's preparing for you is too sacred to arrive in noisy places, too delicate to be built in front of everyone. This season of stillness has been your preparation. And yes, I know it hasn't been easy. I know the waiting has made you restless. I know you've wondered if Allah hears you at all. I know you've watched people moving ahead, while you stayed behind and thought, Ya Allah, did you forget me? But He didn't forget you. He's been rewriting your story in silence. One day, you'll step into the blessings He wrote for you, and you'll whisper through tears, Subhanallah, this was worth every second of waiting. You've been asking Allah for change, begging Him to open doors, crying for answers in the quiet of your room. And it has felt endless, hasn't it? The silence, the waiting, the weight of not knowing if your prayers even reached Him. But listen to me, they did. Every single one of them. Not a tear has fallen unnoticed. Not a whisper has gone unheard. Not a single dua has been ignored. The silence wasn't Allah forgetting you. The silence was Allah preparing you. Right now, while you're questioning everything, He's been moving things into place. People are being positioned. Hearts are being softened. Opportunities are being written. Paths are being cleared. And the moment everything aligns, He'll say just one word, be. And it will be. That's when you'll understand why He hid you, why He slowed you down, why He delayed your plans, why He closed every single door you tried to force open. Because He wasn't rejecting you, He was protecting you. When the silence breaks, it will feel like everything happens all at once. One conversation, one encounter, one message, one yes, and suddenly Your life will look nothing like the chapters you cried through. You'll breathe differently. You'll love differently. You'll dream differently, because this new season won't just bring new blessings. It will bring a new you. The waiting shaped you. The heartbreak softened you. The stillness deepened you. And the silence rewired you. And on that day, you'll look back at your old self, the version of you that once thought you were being left behind, and you'll smile softly through tears, whispering, "If only I had known. I was never waiting for blessings. I was becoming one." This is why Allah kept you hidden. This is why He wrote silence into your story. Because some miracles require preparation you can't yet see. And when they arrive, you won't need to announce them. Your life will speak for itself. Your rise will be so quiet and yet so undeniable that even those who doubted you will fall silent. And when that day comes, when the silence finally breaks, you'll know something unshakable. Allah never left you, not for a second, not for a breath, not for a heartbeat. He was closest to you. When you thought He was farthest, He was writing your elevation. In the very moments you thought He had forgotten your name. Be patient a little longer. Trust the quiet a little deeper, because when the silence ends, you'll rise into a life you won't even recognize. And on that day, you'll fall into sujood and whisper, "Ya Allah, you were there the whole time." There will come a day, a quiet, ordinary day, when you'll wake up and feel something shift inside you. You won't know why. You won't see it coming, but the heaviness you've been carrying will feel lighter. The silence you thought would last forever will finally begin to break. And it won't be loud, it won't be announced, it won't be a dramatic moment that everyone notices. It'll be subtle, gentle, sacred. A yes where you once heard no. A door that opens without knocking. A blessing that slips in softly as though it had been waiting for you all along. And in that moment, you'll understand something profound. Every lonely night had meaning. Every unanswered dua had purpose. Every tear carried weight in the heavens. Every silent pause was Allah working for you in ways you couldn't see. You'll look back on the days you thought you were being ignored and realize you were being prepared. You'll revisit the seasons where everything felt delayed and see they were alignments. You'll remember the times you begged Allah for speed and whisper, "Alhamdulillah, for every moment you slowed me down." Because when the silence breaks, you won't just step into blessings. You'll step into wisdom. You'll understand why the heartbreak happened. You'll understand why the doors stayed shut. You'll understand why He hid you while others were being seen. And in that understanding, you'll find peace deeper than anything you've ever felt before. You thought you were waiting for life to begin, but the truth is, life was beginning inside you. This whole time, the silence didn't stall your story. It built your character. It rewired your heart. It grew your patience. It purified your faith. And without this season, you wouldn't be ready for the weight of what's coming. One day, you'll fall into sujood, with tears soaking the ground beneath you, and whisper, "Ya Allah, I finally understand. Every moment I thought you were silent was you loving me in the deepest way." And from that day forward, you will never look at stillness the same way again. You'll never panic in pauses. You'll never doubt Allah in delays. Because you'll know, you'll feel that His silence is never empty. It's full of answers, too sacred to be rushed. Your story isn't delayed, it's being designed. And when the silence finally breaks, you'll rise into a life that was always meant to be yours.